Well, the impact that the midterm elections will have on the future of the United States domestic politics and its global implications will be absolutely incredible.
That's the view of the former CEO of the South African Human Rights Commission, who now serves as an adjunct lecturer in law at Columbia University in New York. Ahmed believes that the congressional elections, exactly 1 week away, will provide not only a barometer on the presidency of Donald Trump, but also on the opposition Democratic Party as a whole.
It's an election that will determine which party, Republican or Democrat, will control the House of Representatives and the Senate. And after suffering one of the most stunning presidential electoral losses in recent memory in 2016, Democrats are desperate for some good news.
The midterm elections are incredibly important, given that they are really a barometer for what's going on in the country at the moment. And I think it offers an opportunity for a bit of a referendum on Donald Trump and his presidency thus far. At the same time, there's also another dimension which is incredibly important, which is it offers an assessment of the Democratic Party and how well or how badly they are performing. So on the one hand, it's an assessment of Donald Trump's presidency. On the other, it's also a reflection on what is currently happening within the Democratic Party, which doesn't seem to be able to get its act together.
Ahmed believes there are three major issues in this election: healthcare, the economy and trade, and the question of immigration, but says Democrats have missed an opportunity to frame this election around questions of racial justice.
One of the major underlying issues that's causing these divisions is Donald Trump's inherent racism, his white supremacist approaches to things, and not talking about this seems to be a huge issue. Now, it could play out, of course, in various ways. The healthcare issue could carry the Democrats and they could win the House. On the other hand, by alienating or marginalizing groups and populations that have historically been marginalized, we tend to find that possibly there would be a shift again towards the Republican Party, who seem to be incredibly enthused about this upcoming election.
Midterm elections historically favour the Republican Party due to the strong turnout of older white conservative voters, with fears the blue wave predicted months ago might well be curbed by a red tide.
This is one of the major difficulties. There are people far more knowledgeable than I am who constantly get these predictions wrong, and I'm not about to make any of those predictions, but I think that the impact that this election will have on the future of US politics is absolutely incredible. And I do think a lot of attention is going to be paid to this. Next week there are going to be election parties. A number of people are going to be focusing on this issue, and I do think it's going to determine the next couple of years for the US, not only locally, but I think the global impact that this is going to have is going to be considerable.
All 435 House of Representatives seats are in play in this election, with 35 of the 100 seats in the Senate being contested.
Going into this election, Republicans have a 51-49 majority in the Senate, but working in their favour is that 26 of the 35 Senate races up for grabs are held by Democratic incumbents, many in states won handily by President Trump in the presidential election. Think Montana, North Dakota, Missouri, Indiana, and Florida as just some examples. So the focus has now become taking charge of the House of Representatives, where Democrats must flip 24 GOP seats for that to happen, with current predictive models giving them a more than 86% chance of achieving just that. Sherwin Brycepease, SABC News.